Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Right Way Jay. This is Right Way Jay Speaks. So, on this one, I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into it. I ain't even want to waste anybody's time, so here we go. So, as of lately, I've been watching a lot of videos online with a lot of women, and specifically black women. And what I've been hearing is that this one narrative that black men are expendable, and I'm like, hmm, okay. Well, if that's the case, if black men are expendable, then what happens to the race? Is my question. What happens to the race? Because if you're saying that black men are expendable, and for those who aren't sure what expendable means, for in short, it basically means worthless. So if we're worthless, we're not needed, what happens to the race is my question. And then also, what does that say about how you honestly feel about you? And I ask that question because, and I ask that to the women who have that type of ideology that black men are expendable. How do you feel about you? Because it took a black man to make you. You do understand that. I mean, you could say black men are expendable, but it took a black man to make you. So, being that you're one half of your father, one half of your mother, what does that say? What does that say about how you feel about that side of you? I'm curious. But I'm sure a lot of black women haven't taken that part into consideration, and it's okay. I get it. I totally understand. Now, going back with that word expendable. Hmm. Well, again, I still disagree with it. I absolutely disagree with it because as a black man, I absolutely have to disagree with it. And I'll say this much: one of the reasons why we're not expendable is because of what we contribute. And I'll just give you just two examples. There's more than two, but I'm gonna just give you these two. And of course these are obvious. We lead in one thing we definitely do lead in is entertainment and sports. And one of the reasons for that is because that's one of the few arenas where we as black men can express one side of our manhood fully. Now, what we need to understand as black men is how we can take these talents that we have in entertainment, these talents that we have in sports, and how we can use those as economic engines that we can use that in turn will benefit the black community as a whole. Now, that may sound like a lot, but honestly, with having just a simple code of conduct that clearly explains that whatever we as black people do, we are doing for the greater good of the black community as a whole. Which is why, if you ever get a chance to read Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson, he speaks about these things as far as like you just and sticking with sports, for example. not only should we as black men or black people, but black men specifically, be playing on the field, we should be owning the field. We should be owning the concession stands. We should be owning the ticket box. We should be owning uh, the seats. The people who make the seats, it should come from a black company. The people who make the popcorn should come from a black company. The people who do security should be from black companies. That's the powernomics that Dr. Claude Anderson speaks about. And if we as men understood that, the women wouldn't, in my opinion, wouldn't have much to complain about because the men are empowering themselves through the talents that they possess. You know, I know that's a lot. I understand it's a lot, but it's very, very powerful. It's very, very informative that you all read Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. One of the greatest books I've ever read in my life. I promise you. Now, I want to leave you out. I want to close out with this right here because I don't want to make this too long. Now, as long as we as black people believe that as black people, believe that we are worthless, white supremacy will always reign supreme. White supremacy knows that black people have the actual power to generate wealth. And we know that because we as black people have generated wealth for this nation since the beginning, since 1619. And if I'm being honest, we've been generating wealth for whites, period, since Egypt. But that's a whole nother story. I'm not gonna go in there. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother video. But we've shown that we can generate wealth. And in knowing that, white supremacy understands that in order to keep the power, they have to control the mind of the Negroes. And through controlling the information, you see, that's how you control the minds. You control the minds through controlling the information. And when you control the minds, you understand the bodies. The bodies will follow. Mm-hmm. So white supremacy knows this. Control the information, control the minds, and the bodies will follow. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there. This is Right Way J. Right Way J Speaks. Definitely appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share. Anything else y'all want to hear from me, let me know in the comment section. You can email me, rightwayj843@gmail.com. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for everything. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.